Welcome back. More than 200 baby squirrels are being cared for tonight at the Venice Wildlife Center. The strong winds from Hurricane Irma threw most of them from their nests. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley has more tonight from Venice.
The Wildlife Center of Venice is playing catch-up right now after an influx of baby squirrels came in post-Hurricane Irma. The number, 225 and growing. Even just a quick look will melt your heart. The tiniest baby squirrels who have been through quite an ordeal.
The mother squirrels have several nests, and they usually will just move squirrels from one nest to the other. But when you have a weather event like this, it just blows them all out.
That's where the Wildlife Center steps in. Over 200 of these adorable little guys are all being nursed back to health.
They need to be kept warm, and they couldn't stay warm. So people would find them and call us. We'd go after them, or we'd ask them to bring them in to us.
And that was during a hurricane. Stephanie Bohr is one of the rescuers.
It's the beginning of squirrel season, so it's the beginning of baby season, so it's just poor timing to have a hurricane at the beginning of squirrel season.
Timing is key in both the rescue and the rehabilitation. For instance, these squirrels need to not get used to being held.
We have to rewild them up, so to speak, because we're being real intense with them on the feedings. They get used to us. Well, we need to get them to the point where they're not used to humans again.
Speaking of humans, the Wildlife Center stresses if you find a baby squirrel, the first instinct is to feed it something. But that could be devastating, so just keep it warm and call for help. It'll be months before most of those baby squirrels can be re-released into the wild. For the smaller ones, we're talking at least 3 months. In Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Christopher, thank you. A popular spot on the Suncoast is closed until further notice. The Venice Fishing Pier has been deemed too dangerous to be on after taking a beating from the hurricane. City officials walked out to the end of the pier to inspect it after the storm, and they discovered the pier was moving.
Somebody took a step and the whole thing shifted about a half an inch. So it was determined at that point there's something terribly wrong, and it's probably the support underneath the decking.
Venice's Public Works Director says the concrete pilings are driven 50 feet below the sand. More inspections will be conducted to determine why the pier is unstable and how it can be repaired and reopened. Thousands of people are still without electricity here on the Suncoast, but now efforts are underway to help those impacted get a sense of normalcy. The city of Sarasota is teaming up with several nonprofits to feed those in the Newtown community. ABC 7's Bobeth Yates joins us live with more tonight. Bobeth?
Well, I'm here at Robert L. Taylor Center, where there's been a steady flow of people going to the line behind me to get something hot. Now, for several days, many of the residents here have only been dealing with food that isn't cooked, things that like sandwiches and things like that. But the organizations that have come together, along with the city of Sarasota, say they wanted to give those residents impacted by the storm a silver lining, something to celebrate after all of the tragedy that they've been dealing with. Now, I'm joined right now by the Sarasota mayor and Shelly Freeland Eddy. She is one of the organizers here, and she tells me that this was something you guys really wanted to do and participate in.
It was important because, as you said, people, hundreds of families in our community are still without power even today as we speak. And so what that means is that they've lost all of their food. What that also means is that they've been forced to eat produce, food, fast food, things that have not been healthy. And so the organizations of Operation Jumpstart, Women and Men with a Purpose, and even All Faiths Food Banks came together and said, let's get hot meals for this evening and then food for the weekend for these families. So we are just so thankful to those organizations, nonprofits coming together, seeing a need, meeting the need. As a city, we're happy that we had a facility that could facilitate that. And we also have gotten information from those that have had issues with downed trees and questions about how to get their homes rebuilt. And remember, school has been out all week, so it isn't just adults, it's entire families that have suffered through this storm. So we're just so grateful to help in a small way.
All right, well, thank you so much, Mayor. And again, a lot of people coming in. Officials told me their goal is to feed about 500, but they're prepared to feed even more in case they need that. So we're going to continue to see this, and we'll have more details coming up at 6. Back to you.
Okay, Bobette, thank you. The water is safe to drink again on Lido Key and surrounding areas. The boil water advisory has been lifted in the city of Sarasota for areas including Bird Key, Coon Key, St. Armands, and Lido. The water was tested for bacteria, and the results show it is safe to drink. And the collection of storm debris will get underway Monday in the city of Sarasota. The trucks could come down your street any day next week, so make sure it's all curbside by Monday. Also, keep it away from mailboxes, water meters, street signs, light poles, and fire hydrants. Let's get a check on our weather right now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan and the first alert forecast. Bob?
Scott, some storms around. There's some pretty heavy rainfall earlier, too. That is now starting to diminish in intensity. There was a large swath of heavy rainfall here just about a half hour ago, and now just a couple of spotty showers. Our tower cam is actually showing a nice vivid rainbow occurring as a result of the sun shining through the raindrops and refracting and reflecting this nice looking rainbow that you see right there. And looks like a lot of photos will be coming in because this is rather large, and I'm sure a lot of people are seeing this and hopefully sending it in to pics@mysuncoast.com. I want to thank all the people that sent photos in too during the event of Irma as well. You can see some rain falling, still lingering there near the airport, southward all the way down near US 41 University Parkway. Getting some light to moderate rainfall. Boy, there's some heavy storms earlier near I-75, Fruitville, up near University, but now that has since moved on, and there's some showers now entering into Northport. The outflow boundary from this cell in particular is going to kick off another cell right there near Northport, where they really don't need the rainfall, right along the river basin there. Lakewood Ranch webcam will confirm all that rain that was around beginning just around 4:30. It came heavy too, and then the skies are starting to clear a little bit here now in the afternoon. We'll have the complete details on our weather forecast. Still raining a little bit at the airport. We'll have that forecast on the weekend coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you, Scott.
Okay, Bob, thank you. Although Hurricane Irma has been difficult, even traumatic for a lot of Floridians, we are seeing lots of stories about people helping others. During the storm, dozens of Sarasota County residents took shelter at Tatum Ridge Elementary School in Sarasota. But when the generator failed and the winds picked up, those volunteering had to come up with a plan and do it quickly. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is sharing this video of how they worked together.
Saturday morning, my A team arrived. We have like a AM team and a PM team, and people started arriving, and we took in evacuees, and slowly but surely we realized that this was going to move into the upstairs, and it was going to start, filling up everything. So, we had people in hallways, we had people in classrooms, we had people everywhere.
We arrived and we were informed that this was going to be a special needs shelter, and we were actually happy because we knew that they had generators, so if the power went out, we knew that we were going to be okay. Little did we know that the generators were going to fail.
About 4 o'clock, the power went off and our backup generator kicked in, no problem. It's set for that, it's built for that, we're ready to roll. Well, about 8 o'clock, the generator blew. And so we went into a bit of panic, and because we had a lot of patients that were dependent upon oxygen and needed to be plugged in, and there were a lot of medically fragile people on this campus. And so
we came up with a plan. The nurse was going to select the 20 to 30 most critical patients that needed the oxygen in order to survive. We were going to go ahead and transport and move them down from the second floor to the cafeteria.
The first responders were carrying patients down our stairwell because our elevators were obviously out.
I only carried about 1 or 2 individuals. The team carried pretty much everybody. Everyone that was here, they carried. You're taking them, they're fragile, they're scared, they're having problems breathing. That was a whole problem that we were having. So they were scared. We were doing the best we could as far as transporting them or moving them from second floor to first floor in a quick and safe manner. But we had lights going on and off, so it was a little bit difficult.
We decided we needed to get some personal generators set up. A couple people had offered them. The sheriff's department had one. Another gentleman just had one in his truck. We set those up out front.
To help supplement the power, the fire engine that was assigned here, all of our fire engines have generators on them, and they're able to pull lines off of that and help supply power.
The county works guys actually went out to our soccer fields, which have the big lights to light the soccer field, but a couple of them had generators built into the bottom, so they secured those on their tractor.
It was the worst possible time. It was right when the highest winds and right when the storm was hitting. They drove their front end loader through the lock gate to get to them, and they did have outlets on, so they brought 2 of them up to the front door, got those running. One of them had to go back to our shop and get more extension cords and more fuel, because they were fueling the fire engine that was running a generator, 2 portable generators, and 2 to 3 light carts. And 500 feet of extension cord draped through that school.
It was good that we had people that were prepared and people that could work with the, what they had, could take what they had and make it useful.
Great job by all those folks that take care of those in need during a scary time. Sarasota Farmers Market will go on as scheduled tomorrow. The popular event will be held along Lemon Avenue from 7 in the morning until 1 p.m. It had to be canceled last weekend due to the prep for Hurricane Irma. Organizers say there's no better time to support the farmers market because many vendors have been impacted financially by the storm. And more signs that life on the Suncoast is returning to normal. The city of Sarasota has reopened the pool at the Lido Key Pavilion for regular hours. The Robert L. Taylor Community Complex pool will open tomorrow, but the children's fountain in Bayfront Park is still closed because of storm damage. A reopening date has not been set yet for the fountain. And a reminder that Friday Fest will not go on as scheduled tonight. The event at the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall in Sarasota was canceled earlier this week because of electrical damage from the storm. That event will not be rescheduled. However, the community is invited to celebrate a Sarasota sunset on the bay to welcome all the guests from the World Rowing Championships. This will happen on Saturday, September 30th from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Van Wezel's Bayside Lawn, right where Friday Fest usually takes place, and there will be live music. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, fees forgotten. Florida drivers impacted by the storm may get a break on driver's license and motor vehicle fees. We'll tell you who qualifies right after this.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301, SarasotaFord.com.
If you're thinking about replacing your windows, what matters most to you? We found what matters is high performance. Our customers want energy-efficient windows built for Florida weather. Windows that can stand everything from scorching sun to hurricanes. Our customers want windows that reflect their life, their lifestyle. Windows that will last a lifetime. We listen to our customers, and as a result, we're growing. So if you're looking to replace your windows, stop here at New South Window.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
It's Lincoln Summer Sales Event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sport Utility for $269 per month, or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota Bradenton Airport on US 41.
I heard about the DeTolli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the DeTolli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the DeTolli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Well, the rain was around pretty heavy at times, and now it's weakening, but we could have some outflow boundaries creating some other showers and storms around. We have the trough axis out there in the Gulf left behind from Irma, and that's not doing a whole lot. It's not going to ruin our weekend plans, it doesn't appear. And you can see some light rain still near Lakewood Ranch, stretching along I-75, making for some tough driving conditions right now. Roads very slick at this point. The rain starting to wind down at the airport, but this is the activity that's really starting to flare up. And we kind of knew it would. We talked about it earlier as the outflow is causing showers and storms to break out right there near Warm Mineral Springs and Northport. And you can see that light rainfall into near Clark Road. Again, this is all heading to the southwest at around 10 miles an hour. So Inglewood, you may get some of this, and it may be starting to come down fairly heavy right there along US 41 in between I-75. Northport also to the west of Northport, getting some heavier showers and storms there. Not much falling in our inland counties. That's good news on that front, but boy, that Peace River is still very high. 19 feet. It was supposed to crest a lot lower than that, but it's at 19 feet right now, and that flood warning continues through the weekend and beyond. 1.6 inches of rainfall right there at Fruitville and I-75 in just a short period of time. Lesser amounts up into Manatee County near Palmetto and also near Rabonia at 0.3 of an inch there, and stretching out over the airport. We're getting some report just in the last half hour or so of about 0.3 of an inch. There's a lot of dry air to the west of us, some moisture in the upper levels. It's that trough of low pressure I mentioned, and then dry air to the east. High pressure is going to kind of build in here, and this storm is going to take off to the north, and that will allow high pressure to build in. It'll start to bring some of this drier air back our way, and that should keep us pretty quiet over the weekend. We're looking for limited showers, the rain chance very small, both on Saturday and Sunday. And as I said, we'll keep an eye on this out here. It's a persistent area of showers and storms gathering, but showing no signs of any organization at this point. Well, the evening planner looks good with a few scattered showers around, especially South Sarasota County. Temperatures dropping into the upper 70s by 11 o'clock, and we're looking for less of a chance tomorrow, as I mentioned. It's raining at the airport. It's cool down there, 78 degrees. The heat index was at 100 today, but now down to 81 due to that recent rain, and winds out of the east-southeast at 7. And the pressure 29.95 inches. Well, the high today was 89, just at the average, and the low this morning was pretty close to it. 95, the record set back in 1991. And no rainfall up until about 4:30, 5 o'clock today, but we're getting some rain at the airport right now, which will add to this total. I suspect we'll be up close to 9 inches by 11 o'clock tonight. About a ½ inch of rainfall at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport. Well, Jose appears to miss us. It's going to move off in between Bermuda and the Mid-Atlantic coast states, and eventually could threaten the Northeast with a possibility of a tropical storm there. And this has a 90% chance developing over the next 5 days, 70 over the next 2, and it's headed right where they don't need it, in the northern Leeward Islands, unfortunately, as it pushes off toward the northwest. This one is not going to be an issue, looks like. Its name will be more than likely Lee, and Lee will be one of those open water storms, it looks like. But we have a ways to go. It could still be down here. If it is, there's a chance it could go on more of a westerly course, but most models are suggesting that it will be an open water Atlantic storm, just dangerous to shipping interest. And again, this one is the same. Although it's being beat up somewhat, there's still a chance it could get a little stronger over the upcoming days, up to 80 miles an hour, and then subsiding down to 65 miles an hour by Wednesday of next week, threatening the northeast U.S. Well, here's the boating forecast. Light chop out there. Seas running 2 feet or less, and the extended forecast looks like this. We'll see a high of 90 tomorrow, just a 20% chance for a shower or two. Then it stays dry through Tuesday. Kids going back to school next week, and then we'll get back into those afternoon and evening storms by late next week. Scott?
Okay, Bob, thank you. Time now to get a check on your first alert traffic. Right now, Fruitville Road has some backup in the east and westbound lanes, as well as I-75 slow going in that area just south of Fruitville as you head to the north. Drivers in Florida who were impacted by Irma are getting a little break. The Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles is waiving certain driver license and motor vehicle fees for Irma victims, but the fees are only being waived if you were directly impacted by the storm. For example, if you were late paying a fee because the office was closed during the storm, or if the storm caused you to lose important paperwork. The fees will be waived now through October 9th.
The signal from the spacecraft is gone, and within the next 45 seconds, so will be the spacecraft. I'm going to call this the end of mission.
It is the end of the road for NASA's Cassini spacecraft. After 13 years exploring Saturn and its moons, NASA says Cassini deliberately crashed into the planet today. NASA programmed Cassini to crash so it couldn't collide with one of the planet's moons. And although the mission is over, the years of data and observations provided by Cassini will continue to be studied. Cassini launched into orbit 20 years ago and conducted 162 flybys of Saturn's moons. What a mission. And entertainment news is next. Stay with us.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna-Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
It's Willamania at the Players Center as the Will Rogers Follies takes the stage September 27th. Part homespun humor and part Ziegfeld Follies, this toe-tapping Tony Award musical is the start of our wild Broadway series. So call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. You need to catch Willamania.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Get the hottest deals of the year during the summer clearance event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab for as low as $24,999. Or spread out in your spacious new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $10,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Bill Cosby's retrial on sexual assault charges in Pennsylvania now been scheduled for April of next year. The comedian's new trial postponed twice now, partly due to the resignation of his first defense team and the hiring of new lawyers. Cosby is charged with 3 counts of aggravated indecent sexual assault against former Temple University basketball manager Andrea Constand in 2004. The first trial ended in a mistrial after the jury deadlocked. This new trial will take place in Norristown, Pennsylvania, just outside Philadelphia. Actress Heather Locklear is recovering after crashing her car into a ditch. The accident happened in Thousand Oaks, California, a city right outside Los Angeles, just before 6 o'clock last night. Police say Locklear was not seriously hurt and alcohol and drugs were not a factor. Locklear is best known for her roles on Melrose Place and T.J. Hooker. Christmas is coming early this year. Die Hard, the 80s action film, has become somewhat of a holiday classic, so no one should be surprised. There's now an illustrated storybook in the works. The book, titled A Die Hard Christmas, relays cop John McClane's holiday heroics to the tune of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Fair warning to parents, though, it is violent and is meant for adult fans. The book is due out October 17th, just in time for the holidays. We'll be right back with more news. Stay with us.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.